Hello, Worth Workers. How are you? Are you feeling a little less stressed after last week's worth work? Hopefully, you were able to lower your cortisol, maybe with some laughter or some dancing. I hope you had a fun time doing your worth work last week. For those of you who haven't checked out last week's episode, if you want to learn more about managing your stress and cortisol, check out episode 16 entitled Managing Your Stress. Today, we are dealing with you strong, independent peeps who like to tie their worth to the goals that they are doing. If you have found yourself thinking, I want to accomplish this goal, but if I can't do it right, then I'm not even going to start. Or if I make a mistake, everyone will see what a loser I am. Or I should have been able to do 2 hours of running instead of 1. If you have had similar thoughts to these, then you might have a problem with perfectionism. It's okay not to be perfect, and let's talk about why. Firstly, my queens and kings, absolutely 0 people on this earth are perfect. None. So why do we strive to be? Yes, improvement is great. If we are striving for a goal, then it means we have a purpose. And we as humans are so much happier when we do have a purpose. But when we lose sight of the mission and only see the goal as in, I'll be happy when I accomplish ... I will be the best I have ever been when I have completed blank task. We forget to trust our worth. That you are enough just as you are right now. And you always have been. And you always will be. But if there are things to strive for that will add to your happiness, then why not try for them? Of course, let's go after what we want, but in a way that allows us the space to fail. To learn and to grow and not have impossible standards that make us more depressed and make us feel unworthy of even beginning to try the goal we want to reach. Adults with perfectionism tend to believe that they should never make mistakes and that making a mistake means they are a failure or a horrible person for disappointing others. They set such high, unreachable standards that really, they are just setting themselves up for failure. So why does this happen? Some of you may have fallen into the habit of perfectionism, especially if there was the childhood trauma that you experienced that your parents or caregivers withheld their love or affection. So children are likely to develop the belief that they must work hard by proving themselves or their self-worth to gain love and approval. So, for example, you grew up playing a sport and your parents maybe only praised you when you did well in that sport and then got mad at you for doing bad if you did. So you felt like your worth was tied to how well you did in sports or in school, that like you felt you had to be perfect and that they would only pay attention to you if you got like A's and stuff. Or if you lived in an environment where every action was monitored or scrutinized or observed by an abuser, trauma survivors engage in perfectionism to basically take control of at least one element in their lives. So they begin to use perfectionism as a coping mechanism. Since perfectionism is essentially the result of a person trying to live up to unrealistic expectations, the perfectionist responses are often motivated by fear, uncertainty, low self-esteem, and excessive worry over how others perceive them. So obviously this can cause some anxiety. It can keep you from even starting to attempt your dreams. And today, let's talk about mindsets that might help you overcome this perfectionism. So how do you know if you have perfectionism? So if you have a lot of negative self-talk, such as, I can't believe I messed it up, oh, I should be way better, or you failed them again, you let everyone down just by being you. that negative self-talk where you're taking things super personally and just blaming yourself for probably things that aren't even your fault. That could be a sign that you have perfectionism. Other behaviors that show it: chronic procrastination. You have difficulty completing tasks, or you just give up real easily. You might be overly cautious as you're trying to do tasks. So like spending 3 hours on a task that should only take 20 minutes. Excessive checking. So you're spending 30 minutes looking over a brief email to your boss, looking for every single mistake. Like you're just constantly trying to improve things by redoing them and redoing them. Just trying to make it perfect. You agonize over super small details like, oh my gosh, what movie should I pick tonight? Or you make elaborate to-do lists, like super specific. This is when I get up. This is when I brush my teeth. This is when I shower. This is when I get dressed. Like every minute of your life being planned. And then lastly, you avoid trying new things because it's risky. It might make you look stupid. So you're like, nah, I'm not going to risk making mistakes in front of other people. If any of these things resonated with you, then you might be struggling with perfectionism. And if you are overly critical of yourself, let's talk about some new mindsets that will help you overcome this and help you be kinder to your human self, who will always make mistakes, but you can make the choice to learn from them. Your mistakes don't have to be scary. They don't have to be burdens that we look at. They can be catalysts to growth. I saw a reel from Good Morgan Therapy, and she gives 4 mantras about overcoming perfectionism that I love and that I want to share with you today. I'm going to link the reel in the show notes. Okay, so Morgan's 4 mantras on overcoming perfectionism. Number 1, quantity creates quality. In the book Atomic Habits, there was a professor that had a photography class, and he split the class in 2. And the first half, he said he was going to grade them based on their best photo. And the second half, he said he was going to grade them on how many photos they submitted. And at the end of the year, he picked the top photos in the class, the top 10 photos, and all 10 top photos came from the quantity side of the class. So the reason the quantity people were always getting better is because they were able to practice their craft without any pressure, without the pressure of perfectionism. Imagine trying to do your work and being graded on just one. That would be very high pressure, because you're like, this is my entire grade. I need the best photo I could ever take. So you're going to spend a lot of time in setting that photo up, but there's things you can learn when you're practicing your craft, when you're taking photo after photo after photo, you learn new things. I definitely found that. I had this YouTube scripted show, and I felt like we didn't really know what we were doing till episode 5. Like, I can't even watch episode 1 without cringing, because it's just like, wow, it's not... I just cringe at all the things that I wanted to change. And in every episode, I want to change so many things. But episode 5 was when we really found the look of the show. Like, our acting was better. The cinematography was better. It just got better as we kept doing it and doing it and doing it, because you have the opportunity to learn from the mistakes you're making and to learn what's going to work best for you. So quantity. Just keep getting out there and doing it and doing it and doing it again. Whatever your dream is, just start and just do it, because you are going to find the perfection in the quantity. Number 2, failure is just feedback in pessimist clothing. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, said, quote, "I haven't failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that don't work." Wow, that's a lot of ways that something doesn't work. But he didn't give up. The only real failure is giving up. If he had stopped at number 100, 10,000 is a lot. But imagine if he stopped. He never gave up, and he had a goal, and he did it. He made it happen. He created the light bulb and our world is forever changed. So please don't be afraid to fail, because you are going to get it wrong so many times, but all it takes is the one time. And then again, maybe you'll get it right even more and more. Number 3 is it's about progress, not perfection. Progress. So many times we are going to have setbacks. Life is full of them. For me, I can think of the time when I injured my knee, and that was a pretty big setback. I'm an active person. Well, I was on crutches for like 2 months, and then I got surgery and was on crutches again. And then didn't fully recover until 2 years later, but my body had changed so much that I'm still dealing with the effects, and that was back in 2015 when I injured my knee. And I'm not trying to get back to the body I had. I can never get back to that. But I am trying to get back to better health. And I know the progress has been so slow, but I haven't given up. And every day I'm trying to do something to accomplish that. And I'm so proud of my progress. Even when I think about my mindset, about my health, how I really hated myself when I got chubbier. I thought I was disgusting. I thought I was ugly. But now I know, I trust my worth, that I am worthy exactly how I am right now. And that is so freeing, because I can move forward in my goals without this immense pressure to be perfect. And that is just so relieving to be able to go after my goals without anyone's judgment and just try my best and not give up. It's about progress, not perfection. No one, absolutely no one, is an overnight success. It may seem that way, but these people have been grinding forever. I'm going to give you 2 examples. So SZA, who I've talked about before, her SOS album blew up last year. 2023 was her year. Like, her songs were all over the radio, at least 2 of them, like Kill Bill, as I've sang before. I just killed my ex, not the best idea. You know this song. And so many famous people went to her concert. She's selling out arena tours. She has been making music for a long time, and she has been releasing music since 2010. From 2023, that's 13 years ago, that she started her musical journey, and slowly and organically, her audience has grown. And she was freaking on Sesame Street. Like, that's how famous she got. But her breakout didn't happen in 2010. It happened in 2023. Like, I had genuinely never heard of her until last year. And it seems like she just popped out of nowhere. But no, she's been grinding for over 10 years. Another example, Marquise Brownlee, he's a YouTuber. He's a tech YouTuber. He has become the trusted voice of reviewing tech. He started in 2009, which is 15 years ago, and at 100 videos, that's so many. He had 78 subscribers. 78 after 100 videos. Oh my days. Like, I am putting out an episode a week for this podcast. It takes me at least anywhere from 6 to 10 hours to record and edit it. And that's just recording and editing it. And then I have to spend like another 4 to 10 hours just doing research and writing. So that's, if we, take the big total, that's 20 hours of my week that I'm taking to put one episode out. And I do film it sometimes, but like, bro is filming a YouTube video. He did 100 and only had 78 people regularly watching those videos. Like, dang, the dedication he had to have to his dream. Do you know how many subscribers he has now? He has 19 million. 19 million people go to him for his tech reviews. That's crazy. Like, what if he gave up at video 100? That was 2009. That probably took him 2 years. So it was like 2011 when he had 100 videos. And now he has become successful. He has reached his dream, and he is doing his dream job because he didn't give up. So again, it goes back to quantity, not quality, that failure is just feedback in pessimist clothing. Like, he had to learn from his mistakes. And if you look at his first videos, like, yeah, he's just a kid. He literally is just a kid, and his videos are grainy and they're but now they look so professional. He literally spent like, I think 50 grand on putting Tesla sun tiles on his roof so he could review it. Like, the difference, but he didn't do it overnight. He just kept grinding at his dream, and he didn't worry about perfection. He just focused on the progress that every time I do this, I'm going to get better and better. Like, it's so inspiring. So check him out, Marquise Brownlee. Anyone has been grinding and working for a long time, and they are focusing on the progress and not worrying about the perfection. The perfection will come. You are going to have pockets of perfection where, like, that was the best video I ever made. This is the best song I ever made. This is the best time I had with my kid. This is the greatest walk that I've been on. You will find the perfection as you progress. Don't give up on your dream. Setbacks are always going to happen, but slowly you are going to get to your success. Okay, number 4 on erasing your perfectionism mindset. Win or learn, and learning is better. Nelson Mandela said, quote, "I never lose. I either win or learn. If you won, you reached your goal. And if you didn't, then those are the things you can learn from." I grew up playing basketball and volleyball, but my basketball coach, after every game, our whole team, after we had changed, we would have to sit and discuss what happened in the game, the things that were great and the mistakes that we made, so that in the hopes that in the next game, we would not continue to make the same mistakes. And he said something that kind of stuck with me. And he said, "You can make mistakes, just not the same ones." And I was thinking about sharing this, and I was like, it just felt off. Something about it wasn't aligned about this type of thinking, that just don't make the same mistakes. But like, we are so human. We are going to make the same mistakes. How many people go back to their ex? How many people who struggle with addictions, like, they go back and they make the same mistake? But there is a way to overcome those mistakes. And yes, it will take progress, and it will take just trying. And the whole point is to not give up and to try and be better. That's all we're really trying to do, is just trying to be better. And that's amazing, to learn and grow from your mistakes. Like, you are going to figure it out, and try and take the opportunity to ponder on when you do make a mistake so that you don't make it again. And if you continue to make the mistake, like, life is a hard teacher, and sometimes we continually get given the same lesson until we really learn it in our bones. I think for me, the lesson it took me for freaking ever to learn was to be kind to myself, to love myself as I really am. That took me forever. I didn't start that journey till 3 years ago. I'm 36 years old. So for 33 years of my life, I struggled with who I was as a person, with loving myself as a person, with believing that I deserved happiness. And now I know I trust my worth. I know who I am and what my purpose is. And I know that I damn well deserve to be happy. And I know that I am going to be, because I'm creating this life that's about progress. And I won't lie, I definitely struggle with perfectionism sometimes. That sometimes I am so afraid to start things. But this journey, especially like with this podcast, for me, starting was the hardest part, because I didn't believe I could do it. But here I am, doing it, living my dream, trying to do this. So if you are struggling with perfectionism, I encourage you to be so patient with yourself and just start small. That's all it takes. One step. The journey of 1,000 steps starts with one. And yes, sometimes you're going to go forward 5 and you're going to come back 4. Or you're going to go forward 5 and come back 10. And then you have to go 15. But if we think of progress as a spiral staircase continually going up, that yes, maybe you came back to that same spot, but you are a different person in that same spot. Like, you have grown, even though you're back on that exact same plane. Like, there were things you learned, and you just keep trying again. So that ultimately, yes, your progress might not be perfect. It might not be as quick as you wanted it to be, but if you continue to show up for yourself, trust your worth, you are going to be able to overcome the perfectionism tendencies, and you're going to make your dreams happen. You're going to make the life you ever wanted come into fruition, and you're going to help so many people. I'm just so excited for you, and I hope that you really do have patience with yourself. Okay, so just 2 more things I want to talk about with perfectionism. When you struggle with it, you set unrealistically high expectations. So you make the bar way too high for yourself, and then you get mad when you don't reach that bar. So we have to make our expectations realistic. So we have to know our skills, be honest with our skills, and set the goals accordingly. So like, I know that physically right now I cannot run a marathon, but I can run for 30 minutes. That's doable. My friend's like, hey, let's sign up for this fun run marathon in a month. Like that, I know that's not enough time. So I'll be like, amazing, I hope you do so well, but I'm going to sign up for the 5K because realistically, I know that's what I can do. I can be proud of my steps towards that goal, but I've set a realistic expectation. So here are some examples of some positive, realistic statements. So nobody is perfect. All I can do is my best. Making a mistake does not mean I'm stupid or a failure. It only means that I'm just like everyone else. I'm human. Everyone makes mistakes. So set realistic goals and then have realistic thinking when you're trying to achieve those goals, and that'll help you work through that perfectionism. And then the last technique that I think will be really helpful is thinking about how someone else might view your situation. So if you think, oh my gosh, I'm so freaking lazy. Like I did nothing today. I just, cleaned my room and then went to work. Like I didn't get any of my goals on my list on. I'm so freaking lazy. But then I think if you put yourself in someone else's shoes, so like if your friend said, oh, I'm so lazy, like all I was able to do today was like clean my room and go to work, what would you tell that friend? You'd be like, no, that's great. Like you were able to clean your room. Like I haven't cleaned my room today. That's amazing. You're not lazy. Like you literally got 2 things done. Like you made it to work. Like we could all just not show up to work. So thinking about what someone else would say in that situation is going to really help you to get that perspective on the things you're trying to do, and also help you have perspective on maybe when you're being a bit too hard on yourself. I've talked about this before, how I used to say, like, I'm a freaking monster and I'm ugly. Like I thought those things. And then I thought about my bestie and what they would say. They're like, you're freaking beautiful. Girl, you're so gorgeous. Like you are such a beautiful and kind person. I'm like, oh, right. I didn't realize. Think about how your friend would talk to you in a situation that you're struggling with perfectionism. Hopefully that really helps you put into perspective that you're human, you're going to make mistakes, but you're also going to be okay. And it's okay to make mistakes. All right, worth workers. Your worth work this week is to pick one thing that'll help you overcome a perfectionist tendency. For example, if you're quantity over quality, then you're just going to start doing that goal you've always wanted to do. You're just going to try. You're just going to get the quantity in and make as many things of that as you can. Or this week, I'm going to focus on thinking about what my friends would say to me if they were in my situation. I'm going to have that realistic perspective. And I hope as you go throughout this week on this worth work, that you know that it's going to be okay, that even though you aren't perfect, just remember that nobody is, and that you can overcome this and you can make the life that you want. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, if you want to contact me, you can find me on Instagram at trust_your_worth, or you can find me at my website at www.trustyourworth.com. If no one has told you today, you have everything you need to make the life you want happen. And don't forget to trust your worth. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.